What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Well. I just watched the Compton Rick Rock video. Once again, shout out to Compton Rick Rock. I watched the video where Compton Rick Rock was reacting to that young Crip, young Bezy. And he called in to No Jumper. And he was expounding on the incident. He was explaining more this incident that occurred, that was caught on camera. And look, I want to say this right now, young Bezy. Stay away from the cameras. Don't do any interviews regarding this incident. The only people you owe an explanation to are your homeboys from your neighborhood. Going on the internet, retelling the story, now that we're a week away from it, now that you hear what commentators, whatever you want to call them, that YouTubers and people on social media, now that you hear what they have to say, you're now trying to, I don't know, put a fire out, give your side of the story. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a good look. In this interview that you did, this phone call that you had, you said that you had the thing on you. You're just inviting cops to follow you around, look for a reason to pull you over when they see you. And whether you had it on you or not, you didn't use it. So you should have left that in the air. If you really had it on you, the people that were with you could co-sign that. But it's still not a good look. You got disrespected. And I've been rooting for you. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of raza had sympathy for you. But this phone call, when you called in a No Jumper, you lose sympathy like that. See, because you said, in the interview you were showing a gang of love to the raza. I'm going to reiterate. You said you got love for all your CVs. You had a tattoo on you for the homie Smurf, your homie Smurf from 155. That garners a lot of appreciation and respect from the raza. Now, a week later, you call in and you say the avenues in Azusa are NK hoods. Look, man, I want to call upon the OG Blacks, Crips, Bloods. I want to call on them to set the record straight, man. This whole NK thing, that's new booty shit. That's a word. Those are letters that came out so long after there was actually a war. And I'm never going to go into what that war was really about. It really had nothing to do with race. There was a deeper thing behind it. I know a grip of dudes from Longo. Never, ever heard them use the N-word with the A or the hard ER. I know a gang of dudes from Compton, from South Central, from Watts. Never heard them disrespect the blacks because they were black. They would disrespect hoods. All these dudes would disrespect hoods that were their rivals. I never, ever once met a Southerner that was just like the way it's portrayed. So when you say you had the thing on you, which you didn't use, And then you say these neighborhoods are NK hoods. There's no such thing as an NK hood. There might be little kids who write that shit on the wall to be disrespectful to their enemies. I don't approve. I really don't. You know, I've said it a gang of times. The way I was schooled, you want to disrespect somebody, you do it with your hands. You don't do it with racial slurs or, you know, calling the Northerners something or calling the Bulldogs something. Nah, you handle your business. So you have those two things, and you know, and there's going to be people in the comments that are going to say, oh, those two neighborhoods are this and this and that. Listen, how could it be that in South Central, Compton, Watts, where the raza are really around a lot of blacks, you don't hear, I mean, there's gangbanging that goes on. It's gangbanging based off of gangs, based off of territory, off of neighborhoods, not based off of race. You don't ever hear that. Like, people talk about, oh, well, that area, that, man, you're talking about areas that don't even have blacks for the most part. What is the, you're going to talk about Azusa. How many black hoods are out there in the entire SGV? I mean, I can think of the PDLs. I can think of the Altadinas. I can think of the Durocs. Like, it's just, stop pointing at areas that there aren't any blacks and say, those are racist. Racist to what? There's nothing but raza out there, and maybe some Asians, some whites. I keep doing these videos, man, where it's just like, there's such a small number of people that are trying to stir the pot. And I think it's up to OGs to step in, because I think in both communities that there's a lot of OGs that rightfully are trying to take care of family and stuff, but they still owe it to them youngsters. And maybe it's just that these youngsters don't listen now. You know, back in the days, we were fools, but we listened to the older homies because they were there. I know in the 90s, there was so many unalivings in the streets of California that it took away a generation of dudes who could have taught these youngsters different. And maybe that's why you see Mexicans sagging and using the N-word. Spray painting stuff like NK on the wall. I don't know, man. I just, look. That youngster, Bezy, he came off as a humble, good kid. Now he's insinuating that the interview was a setup. He's labeling two different barrios, NK barrios, that aren't. He's putting it out there for the world that he was strapped. I'm telling you, man, my advice, talk to your homeboys. Talk to your homeboys from your hood. Iron it out with them. Everyone else's opinion doesn't matter, man. But the more you talk, the more people get to decide whether they want to support you, whether they want to believe you or not. And I think before this call-in to No Jumper, I think you had a lot of people just looking at it like it was an unfortunate incident. Nothing came of it, and we can move on. Calling in, now you got, so Compton Rick Rock reacted. Now I'm doing a video on it. I don't know who else is going to do a video on it, but I'm sure there's going to be a few. And more people are going to decide, wait a minute, Holmes. Why is he calling those barrios that? Why is he blaming that guy, that vlogger? It was an unfortunate thing, man. You were being interviewed. You should have said, nah, I want it done over here. You were the star. Anyhow, man, that's my 2 cents. That's my video for the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, And tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.